The morning bell at Westwood High always felt like a starting whistle for a race no one was ready to run. For Maya, it was a race against the clock, trying to get to her locker before Liam did. Just seeing him made her heart do this weird fluttery thing, a mix of joy and sheer panic. She fumbled with her lock, dropped the book, and of course, a strong hand was there to pick it up. Liam. His smile was like the sun breaking through clouds. "Morning, Maya. You seem a little flustered." She could feel the heat rise in her cheeks. Just a late night studying. It wasn't a total lie. She had been studying, but mostly studying the photos she'd taken with him at the fall festival. Meanwhile, Chloe was holding court by the water fountain, her laughter echoing down the hall. She was recounting some hilarious story to her friends, but her eyes kept flicking towards the main entrance, searching. When Ethan finally walked in, his hair still damp from a morning run, Chloe's smile brightened, if that was even possible. She excused herself from her group and practically floated over to him. "Hey, stranger," she said, playfully punching his arm. "Missed you this morning." Ethan grinned, wrapping an arm around her shoulders. "Wouldn't miss seeing you for the world." "You ready for Miller's History Pop Quiz?" Chloe groaned. "Ooh, don't remind me. I was hoping your good looks would make me forget." They walked to class together, a perfect picture of high school happiness, their easy joy a stark contrast to Maya's nervous energy. But not all was bright at Westwood. In the dimly lit art room, Jessica stared at a half-finished canvas. It was supposed to be a portrait of her and her best friend Sarah, but she couldn't bring herself to paint Sarah's smiling face. Last week, Sarah had promised to keep Jessica's secret, a deeply personal family issue, but yesterday, Jessica overheard whispers in the hallway. Her private pain turned into public gossip. The brush in her hand trembled. Betrayal felt cold, like the unmixed paint on her palette. She saw Sarah walk past the art room door, laughing with another group of girls, completely oblivious, or worse, not caring about the wreckage she'd left behind. A single tear traced a path down Jessica's cheek, smudging a streak of charcoal on her skin. Lunchtime was a social battlefield. Maya managed to snag a table near the windows, hoping Liam might join her. And he did. He slid into the seat opposite her, his tray laden with an impressive amount of pizza. "Saving you a spot?" he asked, that easy grin making another appearance. "Maybe," Maya mumbled, trying to look casual, while her heart thumped a drum solo against her ribs. They talked about everything and nothing. Classes, teachers, the terrible cafeteria mystery meat. For a few blissful minutes, it felt like they were the only two people in the crowded room. The joy was so pure, so potent, Maya felt like she could bottle it. Liam mentioned the upcoming winter formal. "Are you, going with anyone?" he asked, suddenly looking as nervous as she felt. Hope surged through her. "No, not yet." Across the cafeteria, Chloe and Ethan were sharing a plate of fries, stealing them from each other and laughing. Theirs was a comfortable, established love, evident in the way he'd instinctively wipe a smudge of ketchup from her chin, or how she'd rest her head on his shoulder. They were Westwood's golden couple, a beacon of what everyone else strived for. Seeing them, Maya felt a pang of longing. Could she and Liam have that? That easy, joyful connection? Liam was about to say something else, his mouth open, when a shadow fell over their table. It was Isabella, the head cheerleader, looking flawless as always. "Liam, we need to talk about practice." And the formal. She completely ignored Maya. Liam's face fell. "Oh, right. Maya, I'll catch you later." He got up and walked away with Isabella, leaving Maya with a half-eaten sandwich and a heart that had plummeted back to earth. The final bell rang, releasing everyone from their academic prisons. Jessica packed her bag slowly, dreading the walk home. As she stepped out into the cool afternoon air, Sarah was waiting for her. "Jess, hey, I feel like I haven't seen you all day." Sarah's cheerful tone was like a slap in the face. Jessica just stared at her, the hurt churning in her stomach. "Really? You haven't seen me? Sarah's smile faltered. What's wrong? Jessica couldn't hold it in any longer. What's wrong? What's wrong is that the one secret I asked you to keep is now the #1 topic of conversation at Westwood High. That's what's wrong. Sarah looked genuinely shocked. What? No, I didn't. I would never. But her eyes darted away for a split second, a flicker of guilt that Jessica didn't miss. The betrayal was confirmed. Save it, Sarah, Jessica said, her voice shaking with a mix of anger and sorrow. I trusted you. She turned and walked away, leaving her ex-best friend standing alone on the pavement, the happy memories of their friendship turning to ash. As Maya walked home, replaying the scene with Liam and Isabella over and over in her head, her phone buzzed. It was a text from an unknown number. You think you have a chance with Liam? Think again. Maya's blood ran cold. She looked around, but the street was empty. Who would send that? Was it Isabella? Someone else? The joy she'd felt at lunch was completely gone, replaced by a creeping sense of unease. It seemed that at Westwood High, for every moment of happiness, there was a shadow of betrayal or heartbreak waiting just around the corner. In the gym, Ethan was practicing basketball, the rhythmic thump of the ball on the polished wood the only sound. Chloe came in, holding 2 bottles of water. Thought you might be thirsty, she said, her smile as warm as ever. He caught the ball and jogged over, kissing her quickly. You're the best. As he took a long drink of water, his phone, which was sitting on the bleachers, lit up with a notification. Chloe glanced at it idly. The message preview was short, but it was enough to make her world stop spinning. It was from a name she didn't recognize. Last night was amazing. Can't wait to see you again? Chloe looked from the phone to Ethan's smiling, unsuspecting face. He was talking about his practice, about a play he'd messed up, but she couldn't hear him. All she could hear was the shattering of her own heart. The perfect picture of high school love had just cracked. Betrayal had found its way into her perfect world, too. She forced a smile, but it didn't reach her eyes. Yeah, she said, her voice hollow. Amazing. As she stood there, a storm of questions brewing inside her, she realized that at Westwood, nothing was ever as simple as it seemed. Everyone had secrets. Everyone was fighting a battle, and the race had only just begun. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to see what happens next at Westwood High.